Hello everyone, welcome back to this EPFA Home Nations Cup fixture between Scotland and England. The first ever meeting between the two sides promises to be an interesting one. England have confirmed their place in the EPFA Home Nations Cup final. And after the previous fixture, they will be facing Northern Ireland this afternoon. Let's go through the squads of Scotland. In goal, we have number 14, Lewis McConnell. Just in front of him, we've got number 15, Chris Jacquin, in a different role than he was playing yesterday. And two more advanced players in number 12, Robbie Martin, and number 10, Cian Speed. On the bench for Scotland, you've got Conor McCall, Nicky Duncan. To run you through the team of England. Slightly changed system for the current tournament leaders, as we have Tom Kelly in goal, Kyle Alexander just in front with two wingers of Patrick Kelly and Greg Baxter. On the bench, Dan Rigby, Lewis Harris, Dylan Kelsall, who all impressed thoroughly yesterday. Different system for England as they advance Greg Baxter into a more advanced role. Very used to in both his club and country career playing in that central goalkeeper spot. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of impact he can have on the game. Scotland looking to make some changes. They were unfortunate to lose and draw yesterday. Good final draw with Ireland. They was unlucky, missing that penalty in the final few seconds of the game. Otherwise, they would still been in contention for that final had Northern Ireland lost this morning. But the referee just gets final preparation in order to kick off between Scotland and Ireland. Once again joined by my co-commentator Brian Dix. Thoughts on this one, Brian?
I can't wait to see this one. I think we've got a game with England again changing the system a little bit to see how they're going to play, and the Scottish side who are really playing really well, very strong, and a referee that's very loud. I think it'll be interesting for two reasons. The England players will obviously be playing to pick their space for the final later on this afternoon.
Absolutely. Just want to say a huge thank you once again to our sanctioning body, FITFA, and our friends, Power Soccer Shop, who are proudly supporting this event. Thank you both. In the dugouts for Scotland and Ireland, we have Craig Peaty, Gareth Mitchelson and Stephen Miller. And for England, Adam McAvoy and Chris Gordon. Consecutive wins for England yesterday, 2-0 and 3-0 respectively. Sees them start the tournament in fine fashion. They'll want to impress here in this fixture ahead of that final clash later this afternoon. The referee just ushers the captains in. So Chris Jacquin and Kyle Alexander will choose their preference of head or tails to see who kicks off first. Seconds away now from Scotland versus England in the EPFA Home Nations Cup. Thank you to all joining us on our live streams. I hope you've been enjoying the coverage. Still plenty more action to come as Kyle Alexander gets us underway in the side's first ever international meet-up. Jacquin with the kick in, intercepted by Baxter. Looking to force England more defensively. Alexander has the option of his teammate, Greg Baxter. He just cushions off the defensive chair of Lewis McConnell. Goes out for an England corner. Early pressure from our tournament leaders. Alexander in a central role, occupied closely by Robbie Martin. Patrick Kelly at the back post. Alexander drills it into the side of Jacquin's chair. Unfortunate deflection, well cleared off the line by Lewis McConnell. Early chance, but superb defending by McConnell there. The referee just telling the players the whole ball has to cross over the goal line to be registered as a goal. It maintains the 0-0 scoreline. Still some pressure from England here as Patrick Kelly comes over for the corner kick. Referee just having a conversation with Kean Speed prior to us getting that corner kick from England. If this fixture is as fiery as the running game equivalent, we're in for something of a treat. And I think Alex Dowding behind us may be using his yellow or red card graphic at some point in the game. Let's hope for a clean game between the close rivals. Great to see Scotland competing the international stage, where they'll be once again, they'll be here in May competing with the senior sides of England, Ireland and Northern Ireland. Their development side has fared fairly well so far as Alexander can't guide the shot, and Lewis McConnell's stationary chair is enough to force the ball out for a Scotland goal kick. And the referee has since adjusted his decision. Felt it had a nick off McConnell's chair.
The ball come off the goalkeeper's back chair, back bumper.
Baxter now coming over for the corner kick. Advances all the way over to Kelly, who has an attempted goal. And he sees it over the line for his first international goal. The pressure was mounting. Great set piece left by Alexander through to Patrick Kelly on the far right hand side of the Scottish box, and he sneaks it in between the chair of Lewis McConnell and Chris Jacquin to put England 1-0 up.
And again, it's what we said earlier, where the linesmen and the referees are working together and backing each other up and trying to spot the things that's going on what the referee might not spot. Nice
pass from Patrick Kelly, who picks out Baxter on the right hand side. Goes deep again to Alexander. Tries to find Baxter once again. But Chris Jacquin does well to intercept. And the number 8 for England trying to force the opening. And Kelly occupying a more advanced role here, and Baxter's dropped deep to occupy the space in the defensive half. And it unfortunately rolls out of play for a Scotland kick-in. trademark of England to get the goalkeeper involved. All players have both defensive and attacking duties. The responsibility is upon them to have that communication and awareness of where their teammates are. Jacquin with the kick in into the side of Robbie Martin, but closely occupied by Baxter. And Baxter's going to try and get down to the line. He's got the option of Alexander to his left, but opts for a more central direction, which was met by Lewis McConnell. And Alexander now is going to drive it over to Patrick Kelly. Back to Alexander, over to Baxter. He tries to find Patrick Kelly at the back post. This is really nice football here from England that forces Cian Speed and Chris Jacquin too close together. And that is a 2-on-1 infringement in favour of England, and another real chance to double their lead.
Yeah, a bit of sustained pressure being put on by England, forces Scotland back to their line.
Final communications between Alexander and Kelly. Alexander to take, Kelly to the left, Baxter to the right. Indirect, so has to go via one of his teammates before it was to go over the goal line. He opts for Baxter, who tries to direct a pass back to Alexander, can't get the accuracy, and it gives a chance for Robbie Martin to relieve a little bit of pressure on the Scottish defensive line. But Alexander maintains his position, over to Kelly. Alexander to Baxter this time, who has a go at goal, but well met by Chris Jacquin on the Scottish goal line.
Well defended by Scotland now.
Arguably the best pass in England have played all tournament so far, as Alexander tries to find Baxter. Looks like Cian Speed encroached on Kyle Alexander. A little bit of contact with the back of the number 8 England chair will result in an England free kick. Alexander with the free kick once again. Kelly on his left is probably the clearer option, but opts to try and force it into Baxter's path via Lewis McConnell with Baxter. Nice stationary ball. Cian Speed does well to intercept. Alexander drills it over to Patrick Kelly, looking for his second. Back to Baxter, back to Alexander, who drives it into the side of Lewis McConnell's chair. The danger's still there. Lewis McConnell clears well, and Robbie Martin will try and get past Alexander. Cian Speed limiting the options for Alexander. Patient play from the Scottish number 10. He's going to try and force the ball down the line. So he's ushered Patrick Kelly over to the right-hand side to give him the space to do so. A superb pass from Kyle Alexander, finds his teammate Baxter. It looks like a little bit of respite for the Scotland defence as Tom Kelly advanced off his goal line, encroached on Greg Baxter, and that 2-on-1 infringement will go in the favour of Scotland. Chris Jacquin to take. Intercepted by Alexander. Too much pace on the ball for Baxter to wrap his chair round. It's the right idea. Both sides have quality on the bench for Scotland. Conor McCall and Nicky Duncan made a huge impact yesterday, arguably two of the highlights in that side, so they've got options to utilise there, as well as England's trio of Lewis Harris, Dylan Kelso and Dan Wrigley, all stars in that England. 2 England victories yesterday. It's Baxter finds Tom Kelly. Has to be careful about Alexander there. Does well to pick out Kelly. 180 through, but Chris Jacquin and Cian Speed too close to his defensive pair. That's another 2-on-1 infringement. Scotland will want to try and break this play up as much as possible, fragment the England attack and momentum. Look for any opportunities on a counter-attack to exploit the fact that Tom Kelly in that England goalkeeper jersey is so advanced up the pitch. There is so much space in behind him for them to try and exploit, but they have to deal with this first as Kyle Alexander comes over for the free kick. Opts for Kelly to his left. Back to Alexander. Has to be careful about Cian Speed just behind him, and Cian Speed's done superbly well there to position his chair well enough to come away with possession, but he's met by Tom Kelly, the number 20 for England. And Cian Speed still maintains possession. Just trying to understand what the linesman's flagged for there.
Linesman's flagged saying that the England player hit the side of the chair with a bit too much force.
Interesting decision, but Scotland come away with a free kick. Chris Jacquin with the free kick finds Cian Speed, who just rotates his chair to let the ball trickle into the England defence, but Kyle Alexander is quick to disperse it. And now he's got Kelly at his disposal to his right. Chris Jacquin still
well played by Kyle.
Very well played by Alexander. He looks for Tom Kelly. He forces the ball over to Patrick Kelly. Looking for his second. A high rebound. Looks like we're going to be given a set ball as the ball carried some height after that connection between Patrick Kelly and Lewis McConnell.
It did have a slight bounce, but I'm not sure.
I felt as it went out of play quickly after the shot. It may have been, he may have continued play as either a corner or a goal kick. But this is a chance here for England. Greg Baxter can force the ball to the left-hand side of Chris Jacquin. He's got the options of Alexander and Kelly, who's closely marked by Robbie Martin on that back post. Well done by Chris Jacquin to force it to his right, Baxter's left, to eliminate any immediate danger. But Baxter's still there. He's going to try and find Alexander, but he does well to drive it across the chair. Alexander now is going to have a go at goal and sneaks it in between Chris Jacquin and Lewis McConnell to put England 2-0 up. Well worked opportunity, patient, and that puts England very much in the driving seat in this fixture. Unlucky there from Scotland, who had a good sustained spell of pressure against England.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure about the high ball, but again, England worked well, find the space, and with Kyle Alexander being able to hit the ball that hard, that straight, it's always going to be a problem for any defenders.
That will fill in with a lot of confidence ahead of the final this afternoon against Northern Ireland, who were very, very good in their fixture against the Republic of Ireland this morning. I'm sure you would agree, Brian.
Definitely, yeah. Well, we're the winners in the end, but it was a tremendous game this morning, one of the best of the tournament so far.
Agreed. They've got a real
got some fantastic youngsters in the team who will come through to be fantastic players, only to improve the quality of power chair football.
The average age of that Northern Ireland squad is probably, I'd comfortably say, 5-6 years younger than this England side.
Oh, by far, yes, definitely.
But they've got so much time to develop. Players like Ethan McCabe, Ellie Gorman, Bartek Kaskowski, Kingston Bryce, Ben Thompson, Carl McVeigh, you can name them all. They're all
in their teens,
young
teens.
All superb players.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that final, but England will just be looking to sharpening their tools and their tactics ahead of their final fixture in this game.
And they've still got a bit of an arsenal of a substitute bench as well.
Yep, I think Scotland may be resting a few of their players as well ahead of that important third place playoff against Ireland shortly after the lunchtime break. After their interesting, really exciting fixture against Ireland late yesterday afternoon. Ended 1-1, so both will feel they have a chance. At the moment, Baxter's just going to try and force it past Chris Jacquin. It's a 2-on-1 advantage that was given that allowed the ball to come out for a corner kick. Really nice to have a very vocal referee, so us as the commentators can talk about the decisions and the rationale behind the choices he makes. As Kyle Alexander's got Kelly to his right, but opts for Baxter, but McConnell's going to try and intercept. Back with Alexander, who's going to have a shot, but goes over to Kelly. Can't direct the pass or shot, and it goes out for a Scotland goal kick.
Good attacking play again by England, pushing Scotland to their goal line.
Intercepted by Kelly. He drives it across the box. Cian Speed and Chris Jacquin just see it away. Tom Kelly now has to be careful. A good decision there. The advancing Robbie Martin posed a danger to Alexander and Kelly, but Kelly's assured pass out of play eliminated the immediate danger. Cian Speed coming over for the kick in. Kelly intercept for England. Looks like we're getting a 2-on-1, and it'll go in the favour of England. Tom Kelly to take. Into Alexander, who sees it over to Baxter. He's got space, full rotation into the side of Chris Jacquin's chair. Danger still there. McConnell has to be aware of Patrick Kelly and his abilities here. Alexander guides it over to Baxter, or certainly attempts to. Jacquin does well to intercept. Alexander to Baxter. Slowly into the side of Jacquin's chair. And he's given a goal kick. Well worked. Well defended by Scotland there.
I think the England attack would have liked Baxter to put a bit more power on that ball going across. Yeah,
it was an interesting option, but we're seeing that a lot more, certainly within England. Teams taking set pieces with just enough power to cushion the side of the opposition's chair. But Kelly unable to find a direct pass to Alexander, but finds his way to him in the end. Kelly will want a little bit more direction on his passing. He's just allowed that opportunity for Cian Speed to advance into the defensive half of England as we approach the final minute of this fixture between Scotland and England. Currently 2-0 to England. Goals from Kelly and Alexander. Alexander drives it all the way over to Patrick Kelly. There's an opportunity there. Well off the line from Chris Jacquin, but the pressure's still mounting as Kelly picks out Alexander. Can't quite find it over to Baxter, and he just relieves a little bit of pressure, Chris Jacquin there. The ball is still rolling between the two chairs, so play will continue. And it goes out for a Scotland kick in. Alexander's intercepted Jacquin's pass back to Kelly. And the referee blows his whistle for the half-time break. Good half from England there, some really good attacking, free-flowing football, probably the best passing they've played all tournament. Scotland, though, deserve credit for their defensive duties. A much more experienced side is England, so they'll be happy with some of the progress they've made so far. Still some really good options on the bench for Scotland that they may look to utilise in the second half. So join us shortly for Scotland versus England in this EPFA Home Nations Cup, sanctioned by FIFA and proudly supported by Power Soccer Shop. Hello everyone and welcome back to this fixture between Scotland and England in the EPFA Home Nations Cup. England currently lead 2-0. Goals from Patrick Kelly and Kyle Alexander. In the half-time break, it looks like England have adjusted, as well as Scotland, as we've seen the introduction of Dylan Kelsall, Lewis Harris and Dan Rigby. And for Scotland, it looks like Nicky Duncan's come onto the field of playing place of Chris Jacquin. Slight adjustment to their system. Baxter now sporting the luminous yellow goalkeeper jersey for England, vacated by Tom Kelly. Lewis Harris occupying a central role where he thrived in yesterday's victory over Northern Ireland. An early battle with Cian Speed. Very physical player, Lewis Harris. Doesn't shy away from a challenge. Just expresses his disapproval of that linesman decision. I'm sure that the right decision was made. Didn't stop him appealing though. As Speed finds Duncan for his first involvement in the game, but eventually goes over to Dan Rigby, to Kelsall. Robbie Martin here trying to open up some options for the Scottish side, but Baxter limited the space. Goes out for a Scotland kick in. Cian Speed to take. Nicky Duncan to his right. Robbie Martin parallel down the line with him. Opts to put it in the space. Occupied by Greg Baxter in the defensive half for England. Dan Rigby works it back to Lewis Harris, but a bit too much pace on the ball for Dylan Kelsall. And it goes out for a goal kick for Scotland. Nice idea from England there. Execution slightly off. Must have taken a nick off a Scottish chair. It's actually a corner kick. Dylan Kelsall to take. Lewis Harris, immediate option. Sees it over to Dan Rigby for one of his first involvements, but Cian Speed limits the options. Referees commanding 2 in the box, 2 on 1. A little bit of respite for Scotland here. 3 substitutions for England have seemed to be integrated seamlessly, and they maintain that attacking, free-flowing football we saw in the first half. Lewis McConnell trying to pick out Robbie Martin, but Greg Baxter intercepts. Forceful contact there from Lewis McConnell. Into the side of Greg Baxter. Luckily he's taken it well, laughed it off, and England will have a free kick.
I think that was one goalkeeper saying hello to another goalkeeper in their own familiar way.
Friendly greeting there from Lewis McConnell. Lewis Harris to take the resulting free kick that Dylan Kelsall will try and guide back to him. He's got another go at it, drills it across the box to Dan Rigby. Back to Kelsall. Goes for the shot, but Cian Speed does well to block. Lewis Harris recycles the play, maintains momentum for England. This is unbelievable passing football from the leading side here. And Cian Speed does extremely well to just halt that pressure and momentum from England and put it out for a kick in. But good stuff from England.
That was a good spell of football by England. Good passing.
Exactly what head coaches Adam McAvoy, Chris Gordon will want to see as Lewis Harris passes it through the Scottish defence to Dylan Kelsall at that back post to put them 3-0 up. Really nice goal.
Very well worked. Very well worked. They were waiting for it. They're pushing for the gap. The gap come there, and Kelsall doesn't disappoint when he's got a free hit like that.
A real sustained spell of high quality pressure there from England results in their 3rd goal of the game.
It was good they didn't panic. They didn't just hit the ball wherever they wanted it to.
Just 4 minutes into the second half, England leads Scotland by 3-0. Cian Speed with the headache of Lewis Harris to deal with in this second half. looking at this system that England are playing and the utilisation of all players on their bench, you just wonder what sort of approach they'll have for the Northern Ireland final this afternoon. All have staked a claim for one of the starting spot. As Lewis Harris just has to drop deep to cushion that ball into the side of his chair that Nicky Duncan comes to meet. Duncan's done well there. Lewis Harris just comfortably ushering his keeper away. Can Duncan do anything with this ball now? Lewis Harris is the one that comes away the better in the initial attacking phase. Speed tried to work the ball over to Martin there, but Lewis Harris prevented it. And now he's just taking his time to assess his options. Just patiently waiting for Cian Speed to show his hand. Both players have done equally well there to keep it still finely balanced. Healthy contact between the chairs of Speed and Harris is allowed to play on by the referee. And Chris Gordon in the England coaching setup, just commanding instructions at his 4 players.
I think he's just picking up that maybe he was a bit of an overzealous to push against the chair.
Yep, it could have gone either way, but the referee chose to continue play. Always an advocate of play continuing in advantage if used properly. It's Baxter, comfortable in position. Speed over to Martin. Rare chance there, that could have been for Scotland, but he timed his kick. Dan Rigby puts them under a little bit of pressure. Lewis Harris comes to meet. And this is a chance here for Scotland as Nicky Duncan can't quite get the rotation. Complacency there in the England defensive half, and that was a real chance there for Scotland to get one back. They'll want to iron any mistakes like that out prior to their final fixture against Northern Ireland. Chris Gordon slightly verbalising his discontent at that miscommunication between Greg Baxter, Lewis Harris and co. They're back on their attack in front now. Lewis Harris picks out Kelsall. Back to Harris. Back to Kelsall. Back to Harris. Probably the most consecutive passes between 2 players we've seen all tournament. As Kelsall goes for a superb goal! You will not see a better goal all day. I think that was 4, 5, 6 passes between the pair. Ended in a super rotated finish from Dylan Kelsall. Incredible.
I mean, we see this quite often in the Premiership League in England. A lot of these people here won't have seen that, but Kelsall, when he gets a ball like that on his chair, his control is superb. Absolutely superb.
That was a real treat to watch here in person. I hope it come across just as well on our streams. But that puts England 4-0 up against Scotland. We talk about fine margins. Let's not forget that come off the back of a real opportunity for Scotland there, and that will knock the wind out their sails a little bit, coming off of a real opportunity to claw one back as Lewis Harris is forced into action as the most defensive England player, and Kelsall can now reverse the ball out of play. Does well to advance past Cian Speed initially. Dan Rigby has dropped off, so Kelsall is advanced on his own at the moment. Lewis Harris now occupying that right wing to provide him with the options. Baxter central, who now resume the pressure from England's half. Speed definitely the most active and busy of the Scotland 4. Harris vacates the right-hand wing to allow Baxter the room. Patient play between the 2 players here. Speed will want to limit the options, but Baxter, who's come out more favourably with an England kick in.
Played the waiting game there, got the right little touch off the chair.
It's like Dylan
You can imagine now that the England management team will be seeing Harris and Kelsall play, and it'll give them a headache. What do they do?
Their connection yesterday was second to none, and they're showing today why they're such exciting prospects in the England setup. Three in the box there from Scotland. Nicky Duncan a little bit complacent. The linesman was insistent on that. I'd have to watch it back. I wasn't watching for the three in the box, but I'm assured that it was.
I didn't quite see a three in the box myself, but I'm not in line. So
it's more that the tape that defines the box is hard to view from our current angle, but more
the linesman was right in line with it.
More elevated spectators have approved of that decision, and it now results in an England free kick. We're taken by Dylan Kelsall. Over to Harris. That connection there, so good. He's going to go for goal. And it looks like we're going to get a set ball for that. Ball leaving the surface of play. Speed and Harris battling away here.
Well played by Lewis again. Just touched the ball enough.
Harris all the way through to Dylan Kelsall, who gets his hat-trick. That connection once again, proving the undoing of Scotland. And the man that represents St George's Knights at domestic level has scored his first England hat-trick. Huge congratulations to him and the England side.
Just looking back into the England spectators, and a very proud dad is looking on, and very much a big smile on his face.
That puts England 5-0 up. Just over 7 minutes left to play in normal time. Baxter battling past Keane Speed. He's got the option of Dan Rigby to his left. Can't quite wrap his chair around the ball when it goes out for another England set piece.
Yeah.
They'll be scared of the positioning of Lewis Harris here, but he occupies a deep position, thankful to Scotland. Kelsall to Harris. Tries to drive it over to Dan Rigby. Can't quite find him. Robbie Martin does well to intercept. Our linesman Martin Bevan raises his flag, and it looks like we're going to get a substitution. And it looks like the hat-trick hero, Dylan Kelsall, will come off in place of Kyle Alexander. A superb game from him, Brian.
Absolutely, absolutely. He can come and take a well-earned rest now. I think Scotland will be glad he's gone off.
I agree. Can Harris establish the same sort of chemistry with Kyle Alexander? He tries to feed it through to Dan Rigby. The referee has awarded a 2-on-1 infringement against Greg Baxter and Kyle Alexander.
I think even the linesman was looking where that 2-on-1 come from.
Yeah, interesting one, but we continue. Keane Speed has a rare spell of possession in the England half. Quickly reverts back to England on the attack.
I think Speed has been probably the most active Scottish player.
Yeah, I said it earlier. He has been the busiest of the four Scotsmen. They'll just be looking for little spells of success and stringing a few passes together against that real interesting matchup between Scotland and Ireland yesterday. It goes out for an England kick in. Baxter will take. Intercepted by Speed. Robbie needs to advance. He's left the space for Kyle Alexander at the back post. Miscommunication in the Scotland half. They were all ushering each other into different positions, and it allowed the space for Kyle Alexander to get his second of the game. They'll be disappointed with their defensive setup there. That could have been avoided or certainly prevented with some measures.
Yeah, unfortunately for Scotland, with the substitution with Kyle Alexander come on board, again he can hit the ball so sweetly and there's so much power he generates from his kicks.
So we're just about 4 minutes left to play of normal time. England lead Scotland by 6-0. Goals from Patrick Kelly, 2 from Kyle Alexander, and an extremely impressive hat-trick from Dylan Kelsall.
I would say Kelsall's one to watch for the future, but he's been around such a long time.
Superb player.
Been playing power chair football competitively for 8 years now, so it's a long time playing.
It's been a pleasure to watch him develop across the last few years, and he'll be hoping for a spot in that senior side, travelling to Sydney for the Fit for World Cup next year. Likewise with these Scottish players, he'll be travelling to Geneva for the EPFA Cup in August, where we'll see development nations compete with one another. They'll have their eyes on that to get their first international success and trophy. Real opportunity for them to do so, their senior side, and some of these development players will be looking to catch the eye of the coach and setup to be in contention. Lewis Harris has just been given the space here to try and find Dan Rigby, but Speed intercepts, and it goes out for an England corner. Just over 2.5 minutes left to play. Lewis Harris comes over for corner kick. Kyle Alexander looking for his hat-trick, but Dan Rigby wants to get on the score sheet too. Harris opts for Rigby at the back post. Can't quite guide the pass over to one of his teammates, but Alexander scoops it up. Martin can't get a nick on the chair to see it over to Nicky Duncan. So Dan Rigby's afforded the luxury of trying to find Alexander. Now Baxter has to be careful. Baxter just shakes that off, and Speed accepts the referee's decision, and it goes to an England free kick.
It's hard sometimes when you hear the noise, how little contact it makes, and sometimes it persuades the referee a little bit unevenly, because the sound is obviously a lot louder than what actually happens.
Harris over to Rigby. Baxter back to Rigby, over to Harris. It's nice football here. Harris has an opportunity, but Cian Speed limits that. Still some pressure here. Cian Speed's done well. I want to give Cian Speed a lot of credit in this fixture. He's worked tirelessly to try and limit the options and the opportunities of the England attack. Alexander over to Rigby, into the side of Cian Speed's chair. That's an unfortunate nick off the post, which puts it into the path of Greg Baxter. Final minute as Harris picks out Baxter into the chair of Lewis McConnell. Over to Harris, smashes into the side of the post, and it goes out for a Scotland goal kick.
I think Harris saw the goal lights there.
McConnell with the goal kick into Speed. Tries to guide it over to Duncan, but Kyle Alexander limits that option. Has to be careful. Dan Rigby here is going to try and look for Lewis Harris. Opts for Greg Baxter in a more deep roll. Full rotation into Kyle Alexander. Back to Rigby. Has an opportunity here to score and does so. Superb goal to cap off a superb performance from England.
I think it just goes to show when you've got the passing game like they have at the moment, passing the ball just outreaches the players and made Dan Rigby an easy pass at the back post.
On his 18th birthday, registers another goal for England, so a huge congratulations to Dan Rigby.
Yeah, happy birthday, Dan Rigby.
In additional time now, be interesting to see how much is added on with the 7 goals we have had in this game. The answer to that is not many as the referee blows for the full-time whistle. England 7, Scotland 0. Real classy performance from England there as they just clicked on every level. The passing was superb. Commiserations to Scotland, but they'll try and brush that off and channel their focus on that third place playoff against Ireland.
Yeah, definitely. They've got nothing to be ashamed of. They played really well. They played their hearts out. They played for their country. They played for themselves. And I think even though they may have lost, they can come off the pitch still feeling like a good job done.
Absolutely. So join us at 2 o'clock for the third place playoff between Ireland and Scotland, followed by a 3:45 final between England and Northern Ireland. Thank you all for joining us. See you soon.